So a lot of times in business, when we feel like we want to grow or expand or, build a line, make more money, or just make a big change in our life, our first thought is to just think about, okay, I need to hire marketing. I need to get my marketing out big. I need to pay for marketing. Need to pay for social media. I need to get in and hustle, do all this outside type of work, where it is my belief that the opposite is true. You know, I feel like, and this is what I'm doing in my life right now, is instead of, I'm actually cutting back and I'm getting really small. When you want to grow, it's better to take a period of time and get really, really small and get very profound and very clear on what your assets are, what your liabilities are, where you're at, where you want to go, and really just get into the meat of your company and do your work on your own. So, really getting aligned and doing profound work before you can expand. And that's really what I'm working on right now. So in the profound work, it's like it's easy to forget about the little small things in life that make a big difference. And when you do get in and some of my work that I'm doing now and some of the work that I'm suggesting for you this month is coming up with 5 profound words that would define you and your company. And once you can get into these words of what defines you and your company, you can move freely throughout your company and build and do all your social media and marketing from this box to come from. So years ago, when I was teaching, I met this beautiful woman that came into my workshop. And she actually, her whole job, she would go into these large corporations and spend a month just walking around, spending time in the offices, asking questions, going to the areas where they're manufacturing and, just infiltrating herself throughout the whole company, reading, looking at the art decor, looking at the design of the building, everything. And she would have to come up with one word for these corporations, just one word that could define the whole company. Whew, that was profound. So I love that idea because, while one word is really hard to get to, for me, it's like I always like thinking of 5 words. So in doing work like this, what you're really doing is going inward and you're aligning your business. And it literally is called alignment branding. I call it alignment branding. That's some work that I'm doing right now, is alignment branding, to go in deep, really hash out a lot of your, the direction you're going, what type of work you're doing, where you want to go, taking a deep dive in and asking yourself many questions like that. And then coming up with 5 words that really define your business. So this is about, once you get aligned and you're really powerful and strong, and that's like taking your energy inward. You're not expanding, but once you can work inward and get aligned or realigned, because if you've been doing your work for 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, you've changed, and sometimes we just keep moving forward with the same setup at work, our same studio setup, our same stories that we have, our same photography that we use, and we're going the same direction, but we've changed so much. And what happens if you're not aligned with the way you're presenting your business or your brand, you are not powerful and you're not strong enough, and your work literally is not going to sell as well as you can make it happen if you're aligned. Does that make sense? So once you're aligned, then you actually, in body, mind, and spirit, because we do know that 80% of building a company, or 80% of work that we see manifesting in the physical, 80% has happened on the inside. That's the invisible, and that's manifestation, branding, doing, presenting to your friends, presenting to your people, making decisions, working out your product or your jewelry line in your head. Like, all of this happens 80% behind the scenes, and the 20% that you present is last but not least. And that's when the marketing should start. That's when the hiring should start, when you're literally ready at that 20%. It was always funny for me because always in my past, it's like when I have built my companies, I've been working really, really hard on the product, getting everything aligned, getting everything done, getting the body of work done, getting articles set up, and so by the time my work came out, I had a number of people that have written articles. I've had recordings and talks about different things. I've had the whole body of work done or the product done. And all of a sudden it comes out and I finally can relax. And this is when I just get to kind of sit back and rest up a little bit. And it's interesting because when people see me in the world, they're always like, oh my God, you must be working so hard. You're everywhere. So it's kind of funny. The hard work and the really sweat work is at 80% invisible. So when it does come to the surface as 20% physical manifesting, you've done all that hard work. So when that happens, you're ready to expand. So it's alignment. What happens if you get really clear within yourself? You create a magnetic vibration around you spiritually. You know, it's just is natural. It's going to happen when you're so strong in your power. When I built Ice Resin, I wasn't even in such a spiritual place, although I realized I was using a lot of spiritual laws to get there and bending them and using it and to get my product out there. So there were some things that I really knew naturally. Now I really do a study of energy work, and I can see why different things happened in my life and different things didn't happen. It's so interesting when you start aligning energy work with practical business work, with physical and all of this together. You just get such a beautiful combination that gets you exactly where you want to go. So what I'm asking a group of people to do is to slow down, become profound, spend time within yourself. I actually have a group of people where I'm spending time inwardly, and we're putting together this whole idea of who we are and where we want to move to. And that's a way to get super clarity. When you have clarity, you're aligned. And it creates balance in your life. It creates clarity in your direction. You start learning what assets you want in your life and what liabilities you want to get rid of. And, it really starts making sense. And your life becomes enjoyable. It's like when I teach and talk about business, I feel like business and life can be hard anyway. So you might as well love everything that you're doing in your life, right? Like love your work because sometimes it's hard. Love your life because sometimes it's hard. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, it's like I made a decision way back in time when I was in my 20s, that I really wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I spent probably 8 years searching. I moved to California, Oregon, did multiple different jobs, did artwork, did sales jobs, made money, didn't make money. It's like I really practiced so many different methods of happiness to find exactly what I wanted. And I realized through time that being happy in life, when I would have jobs where I was, when I was in sales, and I was making really big money. Oh my God, we would go sit at the bars. I'd buy a lot of clothes. I'd spend a lot of money. I'd need to travel. My weekends would have to be really exciting just to be able to satisfy my life on who I was, But then I did jobs like visual display. I did visual display for Nordstrom. I was a creative director, and I did interior design and a number of different, I consider them apprenticeship jobs in the art world. With these, I didn't get paid a lot of money, but you know what? I didn't need a lot. I could come home, be satisfied, and just enjoy my time. I didn't need all this other things to satisfy my life because I already was satisfied. So that was some of the ways that I really came at, just really this alignment and this alignment type of branding of going in, getting clear on yourself, really getting clear on your line. The outcome of that, one of the things that I'm going to ask people too is through all this, you find one place to show up, after you've done this 80% invisible. When you're ready to go out in the world to present and expand, you find one place. Because one thing I can tell you, I used to show up at the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, which I'll be going to in a couple days, and my people would find me. I would show up at the Bead and Button Show, and my people would find me. I would get articles from there. I'd get lines of jewelry from there. I would get lot of work and partnerships from there. I used to show up at the American Craft Council show, which is in Baltimore, and I would have the galleries that would buy from me. I used to show up in New York at the Javits Center, and I would get the wholesale orders from there. So it's like by the time we really get aligned, you don't want to spend money on jumping around to all these little places of where to present yourself. There's research that's done to find the right place too. So, in the end, when you do the 80% invisible of getting your idea straight, what you want to manifest, then it's where you're going to show up with to expand. And you show up your first year and you expand, and maybe it doesn't happen your first year, but you find a way, and you show up your second year and you expand. And by the time the second year comes, people know where to find you, and that's just the way life is. We always want things to happen like, woo, overnight and super quick. But in order to get to the expansion, my final words on this, to get to the expansion and get to your end results of what you're looking to do in your life, in your business, and in your personal, it takes this real inward type of work, this deep work, to really get your body straight and aligned to exactly where you want to go. So it's pretty fun. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I call it alignment branding, and that's my new program that I'm doing that I'm really excited about. So you're going to hear me talking a lot more about that.